What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Food, Fitness, Family. Family kind of takes a bigger emphasis now since you're finally going to be stop being a loser and be a dad, and I'm going to
I
have another
know.
baby.
I know. It'll be nice to really speak on topics with experience versus just what I see.
Yeah, I like it. So, well, we had another good week. It is a body shop Poppy. I guess I'll have a bunch of nicknames. We should get a new nickname for you.
I don't have any.
God, you're just so pretty, though. It's hard not to say Mr. Beautiful.
That works. Just keep
The
that one.
prettiest, shortest person I've ever met.
That's too long. It's way too
Yeah.
long. No way that's going to fit on a belt.
I'll call you PSP.
What does that mean?
Pretty short person.
Oh, that works.
I like it. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about morning routines and the importance of building a morning routine. Especially since I think it kind of hit perfectly because we're both like creating new morning routines.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Yeah, we
both
are.
at different parts in our lives where our schedules are like
Vastly different than what they were a month ago.
yeah. I hate it's like they're more free, but they're not more free.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. It's like our mornings are more free, but we're still just as busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so how was your last 7 days, man?
Last 7 days were good. Got a couple signups this last week. We had a wedding. Nicole's best friend Megan got married on Friday. Diet wise for me, it was really the past month or so has been just kind of up or down, just again kind of trying to find my routines, my schedules and shit. So been missing some meals and stuff like that. But last week it was just a lot of eating out for the wedding and rehearsal dinner and all that, and then Father's Day and shit like that. But Father's Day was good as well. Uh, we went out.
This week when you updated me was the first week I think I've ever looked at your pictures and been like, oh, he's a little soft here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was actually I was very happy with the progress pictures because I was like, I have done shit this past week, and it hasn't been the smoothest month anyway. And fuck, I mean, I missed a couple check-ins, but it was well, actually, I think it was only one check-in, but it was I was out of town, obviously. Or when I got back in town, I was like, I'm not fucking checking in. That was the day after I was hungover from puking all day long, so I was like, I'm not gonna check in then. But no, yeah, Father's Day, Father was good. We went to Topeka, my dad and I, for my ex coaches that I grew up with. He's got a 11-year-old team, so we went out and watched them kick some ass, and then yeah, came home, did a little bit of cleaning, and enjoyed my Father's Day.
Dude, that's what's up, man. Yeah.
How
I
about you
mean,
guys?
well, Saturday was the first day I had not worked in like probably a couple months. So it was pretty nice. Saturday night we tried to do a meet and greet where we're rehoming one of our dogs because of the baby. And it went horrendously. So back to square one. Like they got in a massive fight. Like at one point I had to like grab this dog and throw it and grab her. Like it was pretty bad. Like they were both bleeding. They both had cuts on them. Yeah, if someone would have been walking by, they probably would call like animal control on us if
That
like we're
sucks.
fighting.
Yeah,
So that sucks. But Sunday we had a pretty good Father's Day. I went and hung out with my buddy Chad and his family in the morning because it rained, and then we went and hung out with my family at night, cooked out, played some games. That's about it, man. I signed up. Had an old client come back this week. I have a couple consultations lined up. So now that my schedule is kind of back to normal, I'm able to put more effort into my clients, which is nice because I was very lucky that no one like fell off during that time. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because I wasn't
yeah,
trying to add anybody.
yeah.
But I have it's summertime. I feel like during the summer I always have like 3 to 5 people that want to go on pause for like June, July, August
For
ish.
vacations and shit.
Vacations, travel, yeah, all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
it's starting at about that time. So I'm happy that I'm adding a few people back. Um, and then we're just getting ready for the baby shower. By the time this airs, we'll have had our baby shower.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, man, just try to get shit ready for the baby. Um, I'm in her room right now. Her room is kind of like her room slash my office because the room is kind of have it divided. So I told Tatiana we get the room finished put together this weekend. I need to put like her letters up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not bad.
Is that why you said we can start recording at Body Shop? You're like this. I'm gonna be kicked out of here in a.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, I am
That's
gonna
a
get
good point
kicked
as
out.
well, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
because
funny.
I mean, because you haven't been over here since we got it ready, but you've seen the third room, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
crib's just right there. So
At least you got the crib ready to go though.
yeah, the crib's been
You
ready.
guys
The
have a few months
dressers,
anyway.
her dresser's ready. Like when Tatiana says get it ready, it's like I have to hang her name
Yeah.
in a crown,
Yeah.
and
That's easy stuff.
it's basically ready.
That's easy stuff. We started looking at paint swatches.
Stop! But I'm whispering because she's in the kitchen. I don't want to get in trouble.
That's a good plan, or smart move on your part.
Yeah.
We started just kind of looking at paint swabs and shit like that the other day, and doing that, cleaning out the closet that was in her room. So it's fully bare and empty, other than that's also boss's bedroom. So like whenever we leave for long hours, but we've been letting him stay out more and more. That was his transition room from like kennel to there, and now he's like kind of free roaming for the most part. But yeah, all we have in there right now is just a like the nursery rocking chair type thing. That's it.
Yeah. No,
Looking forward to
nice.
filming it.
Yeah, it feels so fast, man. It feels weird. And then
Yeah, it does.
and then our other dog, the one that we're keeping, she's very like maternal.
Yeah.
And we've caught her like laying in front of the crib the last couple of days. So she's
That's cool.
like, getting to the baby too.
Yeah, she's liking it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good luck on rehoming your other baby dog.
Yeah. We need it.
Yeah. It's a tough situation.
It is tough, man. And you know, she's a very sweet dog, but
Yeah.
her temperament, she's good with kids like Max's age, but we don't think she would be good with babies.
Yeah.
She's too crazy, so like she would just like run over the baby and not even like realize it.
Yeah.
Or like she wants to be touched so much that she would
Get in the way of the baby or feel bad.
I'm sitting down, like she'll roll on my feet just to be touched. So like she would like roll on the baby.
Yeah.
And I understand that, yeah, it's our job to keep them, you know, separated, but like you're cooking dinner, the baby's on the ground. It's like you can't be perfect all the time. So we're just trying to do our due diligence. So she needs to go to someone who is like a single dog home, someone who doesn't really want kids, or someone who's not going to have kids for a little while and just wants like a companion, because like she'd be really good at that. So
so if any of you that are listening right now need a dog or want a dog or know somebody that wants a dog, reach on out.
And on average, she does have some health issues. So like on average, it costs us like $160 a month to keep her, which isn't that much.
No, it's good that you're upfront with all that stuff anyway, though.
Yeah, I mean, we can't fool someone, and then when they come in and be like, "Oh, she needs this allergy shot," and it's like, because she does have bad allergies, so it's like, but we have everything down to a science. It's like she gets this shot like every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
she gets this food. Do not switch it, because if you switch it, you will have diarrhea everywhere. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like we went through all the hard shit. We were giving you the formulas.
Yeah, tough stuff. You'll land it though.
Well, let's get into our routine, since it is 8:20. We're about 2 hours late on our recording. So
here we are. Yeah. So what was your?
It's fine.
What was your routine? You know, a couple months ago. Well, I guess it's kind of hard to ask that because you were just so out of any sort of routine because of the gym opening, so you didn't really have one. So I guess what's your new plan now then?
I had no routine, honestly. I had one for a little while, then it kind of just went haywire. But honestly, here lately, my new routine has been I'm waking up. Well, my alarm goes off at 6:15. I'm usually getting out of bed somewhere between 6:30 and 6:45. I get up, I come downstairs, I get dressed, brush my teeth, go to the bathroom, and then I literally get maybe a small drink of water. I throw my headphones on, and I'm out the door. I'll either go for a walk, jog outside if it's like nice and sunny, so I like to get the sunlight, and listen to a podcast. Or if it's raining, I will go to the clubhouse and I'll walk and read. That's nice. Which I've really enjoyed that lately. I really wish I could read outside. Because I really enjoy the reading in the morning. I feel like it kind of helps wake my brain up at the same time, as well as physically. But I'm trying to take advantage of the nice weather and the sun. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't realize this, but it's actually really important to get outside when you wake up and get sunlight, because it helps cement your circadian rhythms, which something that small can help you fall asleep easier. Because your body's like, oh, we need to be awake right now. So it's going to help you with your waking up and going to bed. And it's just, and like, honestly, at like 7 a.m., it's just quieter. You know what I mean? It's like, even though I have the headphones in, it's it's nice. The birds are out, the squirrels are out. It's just
Yeah.
not as hot. It's like it's just very nice.
And no shit has landed on your plate for that day usually. At that time,
Typically
like
not.
you're usually free of all the stresses that are going to potentially come with the day. You have total control over that moment, just to be with yourself.
Yeah, now I will say I am very bad about rolling over and checking my notifications as soon as I
Yeah,
wake up. I need to
yeah,
be better about that.
yeah,
It's honestly just a habit because I have it in my hand.
yeah, yeah. It's just
And
easy.
it's like, I think at this point, like, I don't know if you feel like this way, but I feel like I'm actually addicted to my phone. Not in the fact that like I have to be on it, but I'm so used to being on it that when I'm
Yeah,
not on it, I just open it up and mindlessly flip my pages back and forth or do something really stupid I don't need to do.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's almost like a nervous tick at this point because I'm so used to being
I know
on
what you
it.
mean. I would assume that 90% of people could definitely relate to that. I know I can relate to that as well. Yeah, because when I'm on it, I'm trying to be as productive as I can, but then there's those times where you just grab it just instinctually, and you're like, I didn't need to grab this. Like
Yeah,
I could just be present in the moment versus grab my phone to pass the time.
dude, 100%. So
Um,
yeah, and then typically I'll come back and like I said, I've been starting with like this 40-liter All Max shaker,
there you go.
40-liter, 40 ounce. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
yeah.
that thing.
Jesus.
And I'll do water, glutamine, and a liquid IV and a little bit of lion's mane. Sometimes I'll
Nice.
put some Mio in there. And I try to start my day off with like a nice, like basically a liter of water,
Yeah.
electrolytes, things like that.
Mhm.
Typically, I don't worry about electrolytes too much in the winter, but now that it's summer and I'm sweating more, I try to get my electrolytes in the morning.
Yeah. That's smart.
And then typically, I cook my first meal and then I eat my first meal as I'm getting the rest of my meals ready. I get my coffee together, and then I'm out the door to go on wherever I need to. Like yesterday,
Yeah.
I was at OP all day yesterday. Typically Mondays I'll be there all day because that's my biggest work day, so I like to be there for that. And then like today, I mean, we're recording, and then I really don't have to be anywhere till noon. Now I have some computer work I need to get done, but like if I want to, I can just kind of hang out here at the house and do nothing until I leave for work, which is kind of nice because now that Max is out of school for the summer, I get to see him for like an extra hour in the mornings
Yeah,
because
that's
I don't
nice.
have to be somewhere right away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's been really nice. So
Yeah. I think that's something that
and honestly,
I'm most looking forward to is just the flexibility of my mornings. I can flex them how I want to. I can start my morning with a longer routine where I'm not just in a rush in a hurry like I've always.
yeah. Well, and also from the spouse side, because I'm home like an extra hour in the morning, if I have to stay late at work, it's not as big of an issue
Yeah, that's true.
because they're getting their time. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? It's like we're just getting it in different parts, but it's like
Yeah.
if I'm home and hanging out with them till 10 a.m., then if something comes up and I'm at work till 8:15,
Yeah.
then it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Which
You
is nice.
you got your quality time, they got their quality time, Max got his quality time. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like yesterday I got up and did my cardio before Max got up, and I guess he woke up in the middle of it. And Tatiana didn't know I left. She's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "Doing cardio." She's like, "Your son's asking for you." And apparently he was like, Mom, where my daddy go?" She's like, "He's downstairs." No, he's not. And he's not, he'd not take dog's pee because I checked. Because he'll like pull up
Yeah.
the little blind slot and
Go
look
pee,
out. It's
see where you're at.
hilarious.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's funny.
Uh yeah, so he is that man is a daddy's boy.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
it really is, yeah. It's a big responsibility.
Oh yeah, it is. It is, I'm sure. I'm sure it's huge. I'll be
So
finding that out sooner than later.
yeah, I not being on a tangent, I feel like girls are also a big responsibility, but not
It's
quite
a
as big
different.
for the dad. It's a different responsibility. I
Yeah.
view that as like you need to teach them what a man should be and what they should look for.
Yep.
And
Yep.
hopefully you can have a good relationship with them so they're not looking for attention from like men.
Yep.
But also
Yep.
with Max, like in the state of today's world, my main job is to teach him how to be a masculine man and take
Yeah.
care of his shit and like stand up for what he wants. And like, that's a big deal nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
God forbid, be masculine. And like, that's how I'm not going to get into it. How's your morning routine?
Yeah.
This would be a
Yeah.
20-minute
I was
conversation.
gonna say you were gonna take it a whole different route. We're gonna have to redo this topic. for another day.
I saved it.
But no, yeah. So my routine. So I mean, coming back to like what the past handful of years have looked like. Really when I started working at my job, I didn't have to be there till like 8:30. So that gave me it sucked because a lot of schools start a lot earlier, like 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever the case is. My school didn't really technically start till 9, so I didn't get out till 4:30. So what my plan then was to
Dude, that is late. 9 o'clock.
yeah, it was a late start school. So there's like 2 or 3 of them up in Liberty, so they just start later than the rest of the schools.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think that was to kind of stagger the buses and things of that nature that they kind of needed
Makes
to
sense.
there, and probably also give parents like, oh shit, these schools start later, or if we move to this area, then that we can have our morning schedule more optimal. But so anyway, so I would go to the gym in those mornings. So usually, like when I was in comp prep, I'd be getting up at like 5:45, so I would have enough time to do cardio, post workout and things of that nature, and then give me enough time. And the good thing, I taught PE, so I was going to school to just be active and sweat and play all day, so I could go straight from the gym straight there without having a shower and doing all the shit that a normal person, if you're going to go sit in an office or whatever the case would, you should probably shower before you go there.
Yeah.
Especially if you got pretty sweaty. So I had that luxury with it, but so my routine was always just I would always have my meals already ready. A lot of the times I would just already have them at work. So I don't have to like prepare anything for that day. I would just take them in there on Monday morning, and then boom, I don't have to worry about meals the rest of the week. And then yeah, it's just a matter of I would wake up, I would slam. I usually have like 40-ounce like cup or glass next to the sink that I wake up and just go down that before I do anything else after I go to the bathroom and stuff. Get boss all ready for the day and shit, get him fed and outside. Then he would go back and cuddle with Nicole and go back to sleep. But so that would usually be my routine. I'd have a cup of coffee, Yoa Bean or a little bit of pre-workout once I got in the car if I'm going to be going to the gym, or I'd be going to work to get there by 6:30 or 7 so I could work for an hour to 2 hours before the school day started on TLF. So that was kind of my routine then, but now I'm so excited to have this routine that I kind of have been able to craft. And I'm still trying to find my footing with it because, it's been only a few weeks of me not having to teach anymore. And it's such a surreal feeling knowing that I don't have to go back in the fall. Like I don't have this short window where I have to cram all this stuff in and like, what's my optimal routine for the next 6 weeks? It's more, I can kind of take my time and figure out what that looks like. But so the past few weeks, and I think this is what I'm probably going to be doing just moving forward, I'm going to be getting up, and this is what I've done, like I said, the past few weeks, get up, do all my, the bathroom, let boss out and shit like that, but then take him on a walk first thing in the morning, come home, do about 10 to 15 minutes of yoga. Didn't get a chance to do it today just because the timing didn't work out. I laid in bed a little bit longer with Nicole this morning. But she actually went with me. So I'm hoping that can be kind of a part of both of our routines, especially with her being pregnant and just staying active as much as possible.
Yeah.
She's doing yoga, but getting those steps in would be helpful as well. She's been sleeping a little bit more poorly. I have been too. So coming into it, I'm like, this is going to help both of our circadian rhythms and just keep us into a really good rhythm with things. And ideally, once we have a baby, that would be awesome if we could continue that. That's dependent upon the baby's sleep and all that other stuff.
Good luck.
Who knows what that looks like? I'm not really going to that with any sort
We're
of.
going to create a whole new schedule.
Yeah. And I'm sure that whatever that schedule looks like, it's still going to be fucking out of whack half the time.
You know, the hardest part about becoming a dad is, especially for people like me or you, it's realizing that your schedule is not your schedule anymore. Your schedule is now your kid's schedule. And it's like, it's hard to get used to, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But now I left teaching knowing that was going to be coming, and there would have been no way that I could have done everything, including be a good father, if I was still teaching and doing TLF and personal training and everything else that I've been doing. So that was one of the reasons why I left. So now I have that time to kind of carve out with it, which has been great. But no, so that's kind of my new routine though, is to wake up, slam that water, start drinking on a cup of coffee, leave it there, and then go take boss on a walk. His paw has been kind of fucked up, so hopefully we can start turning that into more of a run, at least in the days that Nicole doesn't go with me, and then get back and do some yoga. No, it was from when did I tell you about that last week? We were playing basketball and he fucked up his paw pads. Did I tell you about that? Oh yeah, I took him. Nicole was out of town Monday. When she was out of town, I lost the joint credit card, so that was awesome. I had to tell her that. And I had to cancel the card and get a new one shipped, which wasn't a big deal. But then the very next night, I took boss to an elementary school to go play basketball. We've done this dozens of times, like probably 30 or 40 different times. Went up and played, and we probably only played for like 10 minutes or so. Well, he's such a good fucking basketball player and such a good defender, but he's cutting so hard back and forth. Now, granted, this was like 8:30 p.m. Like the sun was way down for the most part. So like I took him there because I'm like, this is going to be faster than a walk would be. A walk, we're going to be walking for an hour before he really gets, tired and like fucking over it. Whereas this, I can go play for 10 minutes and just he's wiped for the next 24 hours for the most part. So we went late enough that the ground wasn't too hot. And like 5 minutes, 10 minutes into it, I looked down at my shoes and there's blood on my shoes. I was like, what the fuck is that from? And it's from his paws. So just from him cutting back and forth so aggressively on it, I looked at and he's tore his paw one time before and it was only on one paw. I don't know if it was from playing basketball, what it was from, I forget at this point. But this time it was 3 different paws that were like bloody. And so I carried him over to the car, got him in the car, carried him inside, and then for the next 48 hours, maybe even more than that, I had to carry him to eat, carry him outside to go to the bathroom, carry him back up the stairs. Luckily, we don't have a lot of stairs, so I didn't have to carry him a whole lot. That's 115 awkward pounds to have to pick up off the ground.
Yeah.
But strong enough to do it, but like he's still a fucking awkward dog, and he's really, really front heavy with that big ass chest and head of his. So yeah, carrying him everywhere was shitty. And then I had to give him I call it his foot spa. So that I have this like blue liquid stuff I have to make with water, and I had to soak each foot for 5 minutes in it. So when it was only 1 foot, it's only 5 minutes a night. When it's 3 feet, it's fucking 15 minutes a night. So and he doesn't want to do it either, which is always the thing. And I'm sure it hurts. I'm sure it stings a little bit because it's like sanitized.
It's cute, getting ready to be a dad.
Dude, I know. But yeah, so that was awesome. I got to tell Nicole back-to-back days that I fucked something up. She's like, how am I going to trust you with a kid? I'm like, I swear to God, I was doing the right thing with him. Like, this is something that that we've done for a long time. But so
100 times, yeah.
So anyway, though, so like his paws are finally back. So like the past few weeks, I've just been going on a walk myself or run myself. But now his paws are feeling better, so he's going with us. So that's kind of my new routine with it. I kind of said this in my check-in. I'm struggling right now figuring out kind of my meal timing and schedule. I love working fasted. Like I feel much more clear if I could just sit down and work until noon without eating. But to get all the calories that I need to at this point, I've got to eat sooner than I actually have to eat like 2 meals at least before noon if I'm going to get all my meals. So that's just so right before this I slammed a shake with and had some fruit and whatnot as well. And then I'll eat a full meal here in a little bit. But yeah, so that's kind of my routine with it. And but I think circling us back to, those are our optimal routines. Those are when we have the luxury to not have to get out of the door to a employer by a certain time.
Yeah, well, and we have to make those routines because honestly, if I wanted to, I could probably sleep till 8:30 or 9 o'clock most days.
Oh, easily.
Like, but I have shit I have to get done. It's like,
yeah.
So I need to get up. But it's like on days that I don't have to, like if we weren't recording today, I could have easily slept till 9 o'clock.
Oh, definitely.
Because majority of my work wasn't until later in the day.
Yeah, which that's what I did my very first week back after I got back from LA. I was like, I'm not setting an alarm. I'm just going to enjoy, this new thing. I'm going to find a schedule, but for the first week, I just kind of laid in bed, didn't rush away, which was nice. It was very, it was very relaxing to be able to do that. But then I was like, fuck, I got all this work, and so I'm working later in the night. So I'm like, that can't happen. I need to get up and be productive first thing in the morning. I'll feel better about my day and everything else with that stuff. So that's kind of what I've started doing with that. And then the other good thing with like on those walks, like I can check email then, I can listen to a podcast then. If you need to listen to music, fantastic. But like you said, we have the freedom to make our schedule whatever we want to make it. So we could just lay in bed till whatever, but we're not really doing shit with our day at that point. So I want to take advantage of those earlier mornings with it. So I don't
but I mean, if you do have to be up out the door and at an employer, I mean, I feel like the most important thing you can do is probably
still
prep your food the night before.
Yes.
And that helps you get out because it's like a lot of times the reason people they're like, I don't eat breakfast, I'm never hungry in the morning. It's because like they wake up late, they're rushing, their cortisol is through the roof.
You're stressed every single morning, so you're not hungry.
You have anxiety just by getting to work. So no shit, you're not hungry until like 11 because by the time you get there and get in the workflow, then your body finally calms down.
Yep.
It's like, so if you can get up, set yourself up for success in the mornings, and I'll tell you what, on the days that I'm like on my shit and I'm ready, and it's like, wow, man, this has been a great morning.
Yeah.
And the days that I'm not, I'm like, my face feels puffy. I'm like half asleep. I can't get my shit straight. And I'm like running out the door with my coffee.
Yep.
And it's like noon until I feel normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the difference between having a routine and not having a routine. It's like, do you want to be stressed out and anxious all morning, or do you want to feel relaxed and ready to go?
Yep. 100%. So I think it's multiple, multifaceted with this stuff. Ideally you have a decent bedtime routine, which we'll probably do an episode on that as well, because that's super important. But if you have that good bedtime routine, you're getting to sleep at a good enough time. My rule of thumb is try to be in bed 9 hours before your alarm goes off. If you watch TV, if you read, if you're on your phone, whatever, even if those aren't optimal things, that way you can ideally be asleep close to 8 hours before that alarm goes off. Put your best foot forward to get good sleep. That'll help you out in the morning as well. But then ultimately,
if your bedtime's at 10, you need to try to be in bed by 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so, things like you said, having your food ready to go. So whether you prepped it all on Sunday, you have it all in your Tupperwares, whatever the case is, for the whole week, or you have it in big batches and then you need to divide those out for the next day, whatever your system looks like, get into a system where you're not super stressed in the morning and having to take a lot of time, or having to sacrifice your sleep to get in that extra little meal prep, or sacrificing your sleep to get workouts in, or you're walking or whatever. You want to set these things up in optimal ways that where you're not sacrificing sleep, because that's, first and foremost, we got to have that shit in check. But then, it's other things like that. Like, maybe you're not going to make a whole breakfast in the morning and really take your time with that. And that's fine. Like, I'm not one to really sit down and make a big breakfast, even if I have the time to, but at least have whatever your system is in place, whether it's a protein bar, a protein shake. Those are the very easiest things to do. You can already have that shit pre-made. You can have the powder in just a shaker cup, add water, and boom, like your breakfast is ready to go. Drink it then, or drink it on the way to work, whatever your system looks like. Like Caleb and I said, one of our priorities is to get out in the sunlight as soon as we can in the morning, and really take your time. So if you have time, or if you can carve that time out in the morning to go, even if it's just spend 5 minutes on your back porch for, drinking your cup of coffee. It's a very relaxing way to start the day.
Drinking your coffee, reading, something like that.
Yeah. Even the mornings when I couldn't really take that much time to do it, just letting boss out in the morning and sitting out there and just sipping a cup of coffee, and literally just taking 4 or 5 minutes just to be in a relaxed state, is a good, refreshing way to start the day. But then if you can live in that even longer, if you can go on that walk, if you can go do yoga out in the sunlight, even better. That's what I've been doing, and it's been amazing. But again, I've had the time to, so I'm taking advantage of it. But if you don't have the time to, doesn't mean you can't do some of these things that we're talking about. The easiest thing, the lowest hanging fruit, in my opinion, is fucking chug some water in the morning. Wake up, and that should be the first thing you get down a lot. If your goal is to get 100 ounces in, like a lot of females, we're trying to get 90 to 100 ounces in. If you go slam 30 ounces, you're a third of the way there, and it's 7 a.m. Like, you have plenty of time to get the rest of that water in.
That's my 2 biggest things. If you can just wake up on time and start with some hydration, you're already setting the tone for the day, and you'll be in a much better spot.
And if you if you can easily talk yourself out of getting up in the morning, if you can have all the best intentions to get up at 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever that time looks like for you, but then the morning time rolls around, that morning you says, fuck that, I'm not doing that, I don't care enough about it. And this has been an issue with mine sometimes too, especially those earlier mornings, and why I'm always kind of anxious and fearful of not doing this, is I'll turn off my alarm without even realizing it. I'll just go tap my phone real quick. Back when I actually got rid of my, I stopped using, I think it was my Apple Watch, because you could like tap it or do whatever and it turns off your alarm. Well, I would do that and not even know it. So I'd be like, I'd be in bed for an extra hour because I'm just like in my sleep, just turning off my alarm via my watch. And I was like, I want to wear this watch because it tracks my sleep, but it's fucking me up in the morning time. So switch over to the Whoop band was nice.
Yeah, I've literally had times where like my alarm is set for 6, and then I wake up at 6:45. It's shutting off my snooze, and it's like, I didn't even know I pressed it.
Yeah, exactly. So like my fix with that, if that's you, then number one, just use a fucking like a regular alarm clock if you're not going to use your phone, or just set your alarm further away from you. And honestly,
across the room.
And honestly, that would probably be a better thing for you to do anyway, because you're probably also on your phone as you're going to sleep. A lot of people are. So if you set it up across the room, number one, you're setting it down before you're really getting actively trying to go to sleep. So now you don't have the distraction in your hand anymore, so you can go to sleep easier. And then 2, when that alarm goes off, the last thing you want to do is try to sleep through an alarm for 30 minutes, especially if a spouse. So you're going to instantly be like, oh, fuck, I got to get up. And once your feet hit the ground, that's 75% of the battle. You're already
Tatiana,
feet on the ground.
Like, as soon as my alarm goes off, I'm like scrambling to shut it off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, especially if we're having to get up a lot earlier than they are. Like, I'm like, if Nicole can sleep an extra hour, I don't want her to be awake just because I'm fucking awake. Sleep your extra hour, and I don't want to fuck up that last hour of your sleep with my alarm going off. So exactly, I'll scramble to get it. So if it's across the room, I might be waking up in a more stressed state, but at least I'm getting my fucking feet on the ground, which is a win for a lot of people that struggle with just getting out of bed.
Yeah.
And then also, having your clothes ready to go. Ideally having your gym clothes if you're going to the gym that day. Ideally having your work clothes somewhat prepared so that again you're cutting out some of these things that
God, I should do that. I never do that. Half my battle in the morning is finding clothes. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Well, especially if you really got to get out of the door early. Like your schedule today, you don't have to do all that stuff. I'm not doing all that stuff. But like when I had to, go to the gym, go to work, go train clients before I could come home, I had to have all my meals for the day. I had to have all my gym. I had to have like 3 different sets of clothes for the entire day. What am I going to be training my clients in that night? What am I going to be wearing at school? And some of that, I might be wearing the same shorts, but I at least need 3 or 4 different shirts. Maybe whatever the other case is. So
socks, all good shit.
Yeah. So you don't want to add that stress to your morning, especially, and that's without having a kid. If you have kids in the mix as well, then you're obviously going to prioritize getting them ready to go. But now you're getting back to you're not prioritizing any of your own health, even if that's just a matter of keeping your mornings as stress-free as possible.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that my mornings are so easy right now is because Max is home from school. Like when he's in school, like typically I'm usually the first one up, so I'm the one making him breakfast, and then typically I'll make him breakfast, then I'll go for my walk. And then Tatiana usually helps me get him dressed, and then I'm taking him to school. So it's like I had to leave the house a little earlier. I had to make sure my stuff's ready, he's ready, and then go.
Yep.
Cool.
But yeah, I think if you can just again, even just start with the small stuff. If you're somebody who like you have just no morning routine whatsoever, if you feel like you're shitty about your hydration, if you feel overly stressed, just implement a couple of these different things. Like I said, I think first and foremost, just that water intake in the morning. Start your day with, improving your digestion. It's going to improve your cognition and everything else with it just by getting properly hydrated first thing in the morning.
Or you can start by our boy John and just wake up, take 2 scoops of Yep, and hit a wake the F up, and you're ready to go, baby.
There you go. You're good to go.
So cool. I think we got it, man. Yeah, we'll record next week, and then I go from there.
Cool, man. All right, guys. Everybody have a good week.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. And we'll talk to you guys later. All right.
Yes, sir.
Bye.